Continuing with our parametrically controlled door family, in the previous movie we left off by adding a door panel using a nested family, and when we flexed it was rotating and moving correctly, but the size of the nested door panel was not changing. So in this movie we're going to look at using parameters in the host family to drive the values of parameters in the nested family. This can be a really powerful feature that will enhance your nesting of families. Without this, it becomes a very manual kind of process. But with this feature, you can have a great deal of control over the nested families. So let's take a look. I'm in a file here called RFE Doorstep 4. You can open that file or continue in your own version if you prefer. And we have our nested generic model family right here, door panel. And when I click on it, you will see some parameters listed over here on the properties palette, and you will also see edit type, as you might expect, and other properties here. When you're in the family editor and you go to either the property dialog or the edit type dialog that we're in right now, there'll be a third column over here, and several of the parameters have these little tiny buttons. Any parameter that has a little tiny button over here in the far right column, you can link that parameter up with a parameter in the host file. So you can use a parameter in the host file to drive the underlying value in the nested family. So for example, width is one of those parameters that we probably want to drive here. So I can click this little button and I can link up the width parameter in my host door family to make it drive and control the width parameter that's built into the nested family. I can do the same for thickness and the same for height. There may be other parameters that we would want to do that too, but let's start with those three. Let's click OK, and zoom out just a touch, and let's flex. I'm going to come over here. Let's try a new value for at least the two that we can see, which is width and thickness. Let's apply those. And you'll see that as the size of the opening grows, now the nested family actually grows as well. If we change the rotation, it might be even easier to see. There it is right there. And I can reset these back. Let's apply that. And let's just make sure that the height is working as well. Let's actually do that in 3D view. Might be a better view for that. Move this over here, family types, try 8 feet, click apply, and you'll see that the door panel is changing height as well. So this feature allows us to link up any parameters in the host family with the underlying parameters in the nested family, and becomes a very powerful way to manage our content so that the host family can fully control any of the nested parts and components.